Just setting up the live stream.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Alan is not going to be able to make the meeting today, so I will sub in for him. So do we have anyone who wants to take notes? Yay. Thanks, Alex. All right. We'll repaste these in the chat in case anybody hasn't seen it. And welcome everybody to our weekly DevSync for JS. I don't see any particular items on the agenda, so we will just go ahead and kick off updates. Alan is not attending. I will just leave that there for everybody to peruse. It looks like he needs reviews on several items, so if everybody could take a look at the need reviews items for him to help him get unblocked, that would be super appreciated. Then for me, last week did a few miscellaneous updates. BitSwap now has max provider support, so that's in the DHT now, so we won't pull an unlimited number of them. libptp browser support build fix for something Hugo is working on. Flood sub builds, speedy error supports. Primarily worked on the daemon, started DHT support for the JS libptp daemon. Should be completing that this week. And then I will be tackling the libptp crypto export functionality that's needed for the elliptic key update. There are a couple items unblocked on the NAT manager. We need to add the JS teams to that. I pinged the DX team for that, but nobody seems to be answering on the other end of that phone. And then the release of P2P multi-adder support in JS multi-adders. That is blocking like the whole IPFS libptp ecosystem from moving over to P2P protocols instead of using IPFS. So if we get that release, that would be super great. Any questions for me? All right, and Volker.
All right. I spent most of my time on working on the IPLD API things, and yeah, it's still ongoing work. And I'm kind of blocked by getting a review from David on the IPLD format spec. So basically, the lower level spec can get merged, so we can basically move on from there. Yeah. And I will still work on the new APIs. And today a new laptop arrived because my old one is pretty broken. The screen flickers, and so I will have a better working experience next week. All right, and that's all.
Any questions for Volker?
Well, no, not a question. Thank you for the nudge. I'll review the PR again. But like if I recall correctly, the next step was just like to trickle that update all the way up to examples, so that we could see how to use the new DACPB in action. Did you get around to do that, Booker?
Yes, there's a link to NPR, and you basically look at the tests to see how it then works like. Because basically from the IPLD level, it won't change. Like the IPLD API will still be the same. So the break is between the IPLD formats and JS IPLD.
Okay, so if you do npm link of all the things until like just IPFS, do all tests pass?
And they will once it's implemented in JS IPLD. But basically, I would like to have the approval of the spec so I can then work on the levels up.
Got it. Yeah, like, oh, okay, I'll review on the PR. From what I recall, it was kind of like hard to predict how it's going to behave. And I believe others had some questions too. Like, it's just like because the deck above in the way that it was built, because of like all the requirements that were imposed in the past, was kind of gnarly. It was a transformation plus the format. And now we have to make sure like we don't break all the things.
Yep, but you can basically see on the tests how it will work.
Okay,
I'll
look better into this then. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next up, Vasco.
Hello. So last week IPNS stuff was all merged. So IPNS over PubSub and IPNS over DHT is now in master. Regarding the DHT, Alan and Jacob made some reviews. I started fixing them, and it's in progress. So really soon it will be ready for a new review. Regarding also the Lip2P daemon client, I started its implementation last week, and I implemented the base commands. I have the commit link in the notes if you want to check it out. Then I did more other stuff, like fix the test files with the new API in the interrupt tests, reviewed and merged the parallel lookups on the joint sets of nodes PR from John Yesse. And I also will spend some time in the OKR's initial proposal for GS Lip2P. I'm not blocked on nothing right now. And for this week, I want to get the DHT stuff all merged, finish the GS Lip2P OKRs for Q1, and then implement the DHT commands for the Lip2P daemon client, and also finish my open PR for the IPNS spec. It's all for me. Any questions? David.
Sweet stuff. So many things. Really exciting. Given that Pedro is here today, hey Pedro, IPNS over PubSub. You should try it out. It's a lot of fun.
I know a few people that are very excited about that.
Awesome.
All right. More questions. Alexi's not attending. It doesn't look like he's blocked on anything, and he's going to continue working on benchmarks. Matteo.
To unmute myself. Yeah, perfect. So I did a bunch of analysis work. I plan to file some issues later this week. Also later this week, there is a open call where I demonstrate a little bit of Clinic.js functionality and how to read the various diagrams. So hopefully if you can join, that would be nice. It's scheduled for tomorrow, I think. Let me give you the actual time. It's tomorrow at, I think, yeah, at 3:30 Central European time, so 2:30 UTC. So if somebody's interested, you can dial in and join at this point in time. There is Alan Shaw, Alex Poseid, David, Hugo. But if somebody wants to join, like, let me know, and I will share the link. Then I also, apart from that work, there was actually, this was not complete. I also did like some discussion with Alan and Alex about the number of benchmarks, and we created a little bit of a roadmap of things that we would like to see. And there is an open issue in here that if you want to chime in and you want to discuss other stuff, let's talk. It's the actual answer is this issue. So this is the issue. Yeah. So it's like that. Then this week it's like the clean presentation. Then open issues on the analysis related to the analysis. It will require a little bit more refinement to get to prepare issues and things like that. So I'll prepare. Brace yourself for some issues on some stuff I've already contributed. Other things I will definitely. Then potentially do more analysis as more benchmarks are being done. And if I get time, the create fix key fix that we talked about earlier on. Also, I need to talk a little bit probably with David and Alec and Alan, but I'll reach out via email.
David?
Super awesome that tomorrow is happening a presentation. If that can get recorded, that will be perfect so that everyone can see it after. But perhaps like for this specific weekly sync, it would be good to create an issue and just like put the time and put the Zoom URL so that anyone from this team or even like other parts of the IPFS project can just join and check out the progress and how to use this tool. Like, if you don't mind, of course, like if you don't mind, like having maybe like 10 people in the call, like if you prefer to have like a small group.
On Clinic, it's fine. It's fine including it. It's fine recording it and publishing, whatever. If you want to even stream it online, I will ask one of you to lead the organization of this. I don't have streaming capability on my Zoom account, so I will cede completely the organization and setting up of the live stream to you folks, and you can do whatever you want, really. There's no problem in sharing any of that any part of that presentation, really, or with the rest of the world. So
awesome, thank you. Like the live stream perhaps is not as important because like that will just like require more kind of like announcements. But like adding an issue on the GitHub IPFS/team management saying tomorrow there is this session, we'll go through like performance benchmarks, and we'll learn how to use the Clinic stuff, and like with the time and the Zoom URL for people to join. That will be enough and perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'll take a note and do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Next up, Ron.
Yep. So this past week, so converted. One of the tests was using a get on the files. Converted that to a cat readable string. Added another test, so the initialization of a node is now being tracked without using a pre-generated key. All the other tests are using pre-generated keys, so that's in there now. Just did some more refactoring, changed, instead of using a file or test, I think we're using test class. We're now using file set. Added the IPFS version to the results. And let's see, support for individual tests. So inside each test, you can have like a certain file set that you can run against. So now you can actually specify a specific file to run it against. So if you just want to do one file for some type of testing, that's fine. Yeah, and then you can now run it off of a branch locally, and then that will be used also by Alex up in the remote server. And then just updated the README to add the changes I've done this past week. Coming up this next week is, let's see, what is next? Finish file. Oh, so we're doing, so we need to verify the files are pre-generated, and then if there's some missing based on a config, we're going to regenerate them. Those are just the test files and fixtures. And then what's left is just, hopefully just going on and adding more tests. So I listed about 5 tests that I'm going to start tackling this week. So see how far I get, but that's, yeah, just adding tests now. Should be it.
Awesome. Any questions for Ron? All right, next up, Hugo.
Hi, guys. So let me just, okay. So I did some work on the package.json linter on Azure. This came from an issue about stuff about the package.json that was kind of screwing things up. Also made Babel and Webpack experimental config a bit safer and faster, so everyone can easily or more easy accept like changing the default one for this one. Also did pull requests on the repo to fix a problem with the lock, and another one about making Karma and like the Azure tests with Karma and the Azure build, change it to the default and cleaning everything up about the old ones. And did also a bunch of pull requests about the bundle size in several repos. Created a couple of packages to help with this stuff, and still missing the last ones, like the top level ones, the API or the HTTP client and the JS IPFS. But right now on my machine, I get like on the zipped values, I'm almost like removing 120 kilobytes. So it's working great for now. More than this, we will need to get even deeper into the crypto packages, which is a lot harder, but we'll get there. I'm still blocked in the IPFS TCTL stuff. This is basically the neat stuff about the Go team implementing it or not, and also the other pull request. I don't really remember what it is right now. It's been blocking me for a while. For this week, I'll continue the bundle size. It's almost finished. Just need to finish up some minor stuff. I will rework the error proposal with the support for wrapping, as the people gave feedback to the first pull request. I'll tweak that and also work on the async iterators on the multi-hashing and Amplex. Oh, and yeah, the stream HTTP package, I fork it for the bundle size work. And I'll probably make a new package to fix some problems that we have for a long time about streams and service worker and switching up from fetch and request. So that's it for me. Anyone has any questions? No.
All right, great. Alex. Alex, are you frozen? Are you there? All right, we will skip him for the moment. Oh, and go with Portia.
So I actually finished my first ticket where I added a silent feature to JS IPFS daemon. So if you turn it on, you don't have to see all the output. I wrote tests for it. Alan helped me with some of the tests. And yeah, so that's what I did this week. Any questions?
Awesome. Alex, back to you.
Yeah, I moved slightly closer to the router. So last week I was in Porto for a bit. I did a talk on NPM on IPFS at the OPJS meetup. It was loads of fun. I think it went down really well. We had lots of great questions from the audience, and people came up to me and talked to me about it afterwards. So I think a lot of good engagement there. It was good fun. I added streaming options to the list methods for MFS. So you don't have to buffer the whole contents of a directory into an array anymore. So it got merged. Did I just drop out there? Everyone just froze.
Yeah, you dropped out for a bit.
Right. Yeah, that HAMP sharding branch got merged and released, which is awesome. Basically, everyone.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Breaking up quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean that like the time to request a tarball from not a tarball, a manifest from NPM IPFS went down from like 3 minutes to half a second, which was pretty awesome. So I'm not blocked on anything this week. I'm gonna try and update the HTTP. Hello.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah. So I was working on a next generation HTTP interface that uses kind of REST primitives to do IPFS manipulations. And every now and again, I hear people talk about this stuff. And that means there's definitely appetite for it. So I'm going to update it. And I really want to get it into like some kind of experimental JS IPFS so that you can just fire it up and start hitting the generated documentation. because after that, I'm going to start the repo migrator, which is the other P0 thing I had my OKRs for this quarter. And I'm going to try and write a blog post about NPM and IPFS so that we can roll it out along with 0.34, which should be by the end of the month. That's me.
Awesome. Any questions for Alex?
Can't guarantee my connection will be stable enough to answer them.
No questions it is. All right. One other thing, we did start, I think I linked it in my post. We started planning for libpdp OKRs for Q1. If you have any recommendations of things that you would like to see, feel free to reach out and request that. I'll just post that in chat real quick. But that is up. There was a PR. It'll be an open discussion for about a week. And then ultimately we'll be presenting the final or TBD final OKRs on the 20th. Does anybody have anything else they want to cover?
I have one quick update if we have a sec. I just wanted to share that the new, I don't know how to describe it, but the new CID link API is now reflected in the workshops on Protoschool, thanks to Michael going back through and reworking everything. And my giant set of one user who's going through and documenting his experience went back through, did the whole thing again with that in place, and loves how much easier it is, both the actual API and the way we were able to kind of simplify the instructions. So kudos to anyone here who was involved in making that change. And to Michael for updating it on that site.
That was a lot of people actually that worked on that change, because it was like deep down in the CID library, and then everybody had to update their dev. So thanks to pretty much everybody, I think, on this one.
That's super awesome to hear. Anybody else? David?
I have a quick question. I know you are preparing a big launch for Protoschool. I'm wondering if it is the right time for us right now. For example, we have this examples folder on JSIPFS, and we have a bunch of we have a README for that that lists all the tutorials we have there. Should we point people to Protoschool nowadays, or still wait?
I would probably wait to link in that direction, but this is an appropriate time. I know there are a bunch of tutorials and stuff kind of spread out in different places. If you have ideas for whole workshops that could be built from existing resources, you can open an issue for a new workshop idea in Protoschool. And we also have, so I guess after we get more publicly launched and are drawing more attention purposefully, we definitely want to start linking between resources and pushing more people to Protoschool. And then where we need to, where you can't fit condensed stuff there, link out to other resources as well. So feel free to log issues if you want to just draw my attention to a resource that's a relevant point there. You can open an issue in the protoschool.github.io.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'll review our tutorials again and point you at if any makes sense to try to port to Protoschool. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I think that will do it for this week, and we will. Oh nope, David.
Sorry, I had one more thing in my mind, which I'm not sure if we have actually the chance to kind of align as a group. So we are kind of 2 weeks out from the end of the quarter. Then it's holidays and everyone these events, and that's great. We do have a lot of things in the pipeline for JSIPFS release. The next release will be very exciting, and I'm wondering if we are set to release it before going into holidays mode. Are all the is it just reviewing Alan Shaw's request for the reviewing the PRs that he requested us to review? Is there any blocking work? Is there anything that we could perhaps just adjust our attention to try to get it released before Christmas? Does anyone has kind of an idea about this, or does anyone has a date in mind where they think the release will be done? Ugo.
Actual date, I don't know. Probably only Alan has that in mind. But I think we are good to make the release before the holidays. But it's gonna be close. There's a lot of PRs pending that I guess Alan wants to include. But I think we can make it.
Alan said in his update that he intends to release the release candidates this week, I think. So I think we are in a good progress to release it next week.
Thank you. Oh, Alex, go ahead. I didn't see you.
There's only one issue on the release issue, linked issue that doesn't have a PR. That's the add from star methods. Other than that, it's just a case of merging the rest of those PRs, I think.
Got it. I think that like one of the add from star methods is already done. There's like a PR that like Alan is asking for review. I guess he's just like missing the add from FS. Cool. Okay, so I'll perhaps like just like post the same question on the release issue so that we can like comment there if we see any like special blocker. All right, thank you. Sorry, this was like my last question. I'll promise not to raise the hand again, Jacob. Go ahead.
All right, we're done for real this time. All right, see everybody next week.
Bye.
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 Bye.